I hit the gavel. It is 3 o'clock, and we'll call to order our meeting of the Turnbull Creek Preservation Board. Today is June the 16th. Would you call the roll, please?
Yes, I'd like to introduce myself. My name is Con Evans. I am the new Deputy City Clerk here. Nice to meet you, and I apologize if I mess up your name. Chair Authern.
Present.
Member Ingalls.
Present.
Member Robich.
Present.
Member Werner.
Present.
Let the record show Vice Chair Weston is absent.
Okay, so to begin the meeting, I need to get approval for the minutes of the last meeting, which was in March. Wow, not that far.
I move to approve. Second.
Would you call the roll, please, Con?
Member Werner.
Yes.
Member Robich.
Present. Or yes, I'm sorry, yes.
Member Ingalls.
Yes.
Chair Authern.
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay, public participation. We open the floor for anyone who would like to speak to the board today, and I do see someone who's got a board book. They're coming up to talk to us about it. Welcome. Glad to have you here. And if you'll just speak into the microphone.
Yes, good evening. Afternoon. My name is Joe Dluback. I live in Venetian Bay, west of 95. And I'd like to challenge you in the city to expand your horizon. While much of what you are doing and the city is concentrating on is the inner city and Turnbull Creek area, we out west, what I at one time and probably still do call the Wild West, is there are no efforts there to conserve any of the land. We are experiencing developments like Venetian Bay, like Ardesia Park, like Deering Park, like South Village, which encompasses almost all of that area. None of the city's devotion to conservation area is on the table, and I'd like for you to open up your horizons and challenge you to do that. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Any other public participation? Seeing none, we'll move to our order of business. Discussion items. Under the discussion items, we have a couple of things on my agenda. We had an adjustment on our agenda that was from pardon me. This was the notes that we'd gotten from Chip Weston, who isn't here. I trust that all of you got a chance to read his letter and to look over what he had asked. This was in your agenda packet, your online agenda packet. So if you go to your agenda items listed on there, and
I tried to click on everything and didn't see anything. I will bring it up. Sorry.
Maybe
page
101.
Did anyone have any questions about some of the items he had listed? I'll just go briefly through them. He's talking about how we could move forward into becoming a task force for the city where we can be more of an environmental and resource resilient board and to present that down the road to the city. He had mentioned about this resilience board, and I would be curious to ask, would this be a part of a project review board, or is he looking at this as a new proposed development review board? I'm not sure how he was addressing that to be, where could we be beneficial to that?
Yeah, I read it as a new committee, a new board to advise the environmental director. Look at it as a new board that would advise the environmental director of the city of New Smyrna Beach. Is that position been filled? Do we actually have one, or even funded or considered?
I'm not sure that there has been one funded or even considered.
Because he did mention several other municipalities, like down at Cape Canaveral or Titusville.
Yeah, there's several others.
in
that have.
Orlando.
I'm not sure if he wants this also, he's talking about the different levels um, of this group as an overseeing all environmental related activities, and as part of the project review committee, if that's what that was supposed to be a part of. He also listed several topics for the department manager, the public engagements, to give education and act as an emergency response, recommendations, strategies for planning. He got very elaborate in all of this. I like his input there. The resilience director and what that resilience director does. Some of this was also listed about economic and educational outreach in his discussions. He has also asked about, he highlighted there's several other cities that have done this and adopted this in since 2010, which surprised me. I didn't realize they were thinking about it even then. And then he has a list of questions on the 4th page, I think this is, that talks about, as a task force, he's curious, is New Smyrna, how they define the partnership for the natural resources and stewardship of natural resources. Can any of the Turnbull properties be deployed as part of the new stormwater management system? I thought that was a pretty good question. I'm not sure what we're allowed to do to expand the creek, but I know what we've done on the creek, and we'll go through the review of that. He's asked a question here also about how can the Volusia Forever Association become part of the Turnbull acquisition, and what grants might be available. That's another topic I'm going to bring up under new business in a little bit, because we do need to follow through with some of those things. And he's also asked about the private entities or even having a special taxing district to fund programs or to fund maintenance. I mean, he's got a whole list of questions here. And since it's part of our agenda, I don't think I need to go over everything, but I would like y'all's input on some of these.
I think he was very thorough, and I think...
Come to your microphone, please.
Yeah, it was very thorough what he did, and I like where he's going. I don't know if the city has any plans on filling those positions. I haven't heard anything about it yet, but I think it's something the city probably needs at some point. As we grow and as we grow west into the swamps and into the environmentally sensitive grounds. But yeah, it just raises more questions for me.
It does.
Yeah, I believe Flagler County has had several studies on resiliency, particularly dealing with sea level rise. Actually, I think they started planning about 5 or 6 years ago. So that'd be worthwhile to look at Flagler County and see what they're doing in terms of resiliency.
Mm-hmm. What do you think? Well, you didn't get a chance to read them through.
No,
It's not coming up for you?
no, it's not.
I'll tell you what I had to do is open it on the page itself and not on the attachment in order to get it open. I don't know if that's how you're going, but
Yeah, it was no
Okay.
attachment.
I couldn't get it open in the beginning. Yeah.
I also want to welcome you to, thank you for being.
Oh, no problem. Just filling in with Ron, so I'm not completely up to speed on all this, but just to add a little bit, we are doing the stormwater master plan for the entire city, and it will extend beyond the boundaries of the city out into the county. So that is being worked on, as well as a vulnerability analysis, which has to do with sea level rise and storm surge, looking at our critical infrastructure, things of that nature. So some of that work is being done that you're talking about.
Good. So that answers some of his questions. I know one of the other questions I can answer for him was what needs to be done to preserve and maintain the lands that we've already purchased. And I wrote there partnerships, because we are looking at some partnership opportunities that we're going to follow up on. Another question I can answer for him is, can an ongoing process be established to eliminate invasive species on the properties that we've already bought? That's through USDA, and that's also another follow-up that we had asked back in March for for us to move forward with the applications with USDA to get in a program with them to remove those invasive species while the monies were still there. And I think the deadline was in June, and I don't think we ever moved forward with that. So those are the two questions I know I can answer. Other parts of this was talking about the maintenance. But I think he's got a good insight. I'd like to address more of these parts, if it's possible. We can come back to it at the next meeting.
Yeah, I'd like to be able to look all that over a little more thoroughly, for sure.
Okay, I can give you my copy for now.
Okay, I was reading what,
Oh, okay, good.
from,
You found it.
yeah.
Okay, good. Any other items for discussion that you have?
New items or?
Are you staying with new items?
Yes. So we are moving forward with the Turnbull Bay Bridge dredge project. At this point, I'll read you what was sent to me last. As discussed based on our conversation with our CRA director, Samantha Bergeron, there is a place marker in her budget for the project, but funding still needs to be based on a proposal we received from a qualified contractor. Our PW director is working with that contractor to expedite the selection process if we can utilize an existing contract and piggyback on the services which is still being pursued at this time. So it is in the city. They expect it to be done in next year's budget, starting in October. It's moving along. It was more than we expected, quite a bit more, so it is that's what stopped it from being pushed through right away. They've got a placeholder for it, they're working on it, just trying to get the money and decide exactly when.
That they'll open up that,
They'll dredge that section of bridge that has been closed off there, under the trestles, between the trestles and the main bridge. And there, what we were discussing was it's probably about 50 foot wide, about half of the width of the waterway, which would open up two sections of bridge and allow the flow. It's a steep edge, it comes straight up, then you've got solid oyster bars, and then it drops off again on the other side. So it's just a straight section which would create the natural flow through there. And, I mean, it'll move a lot of water through there where it's dammed up, coming from that whole west side. So I'm super excited about it. I think it's a great, great project. So,
cool. But,
Yep.
but it won't happen until next year.
yeah, but next fiscal year starts October.
So possibly by the end of the year something?
Yes.
Okay,
And they've got a contractor that is bidding it. That-
okay.
It was just more than they expected. And one other thing too is, we spoke last time about grants and wanting an attorney to help us. Peterson Law has said they would be happy to help, do whatever we need. They're a third generation New Smyrna law firm. And yeah, they were.
To write grants, you mean?
Well,
Help us find them.
help us find them and help us, anything they can do legally. They're not grant writers, but they will help us in any way they can.
And who is that again?
Peterson Law,
Oh. Phil Peterson?
Matt and Jamie, really. Matt is who I spoke to.
Phil's part of that group also.
Yeah,
I think that's his kids, isn't it?
Sid's kid.
It's Sid's kids. I knew I remembered the
Yeah.
name.
It's Deloach and Peterson for years, and then
I went to school with Phil.
Sid. Did you? He's a Turnbull Creek resident.
Mm-hmm. These people know. Cool, that's some good information.
So, going forward, they will do whatever they can to help.
That's nice. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Did you have any other new business you want to bring up? Or questions about any of the discussions that?
One thing something he had mentioned was possibility of putting a map of properties that have been acquired for, so the public can actually see what's been going on. They can really get a good look at the amount of acreage that's been acquired.
Yes, that was supposed to have been in our packet too, an update, because that was mentioned at the last meeting, that we're moving forward, if the city were to approve us going forward and doing more as the Turnbull Creek Preservation Board, that we would get an updated map of the properties that have already been purchased, done in red. And I believe I had that in a presentation that I did in March to show all of the properties that were added. They didn't give you anything, did they?
No, but we can get that to you pretty easy. Probably have that done in a day.
Okay, so that needs to be sent out to us so that we can look at that and view it. I don't believe I brought my copy in of it. I have to take that back. No, I didn't. I did not bring that piece in. I had gotten it from Planning Department. Yeah. Yeah, I had gotten it from Planning Department. There are several sections on this one that, they're not marked on here either. So if we could put that on our list, that we could get that sent out to the board, and then that'll help us to kind of think through where the priorities need to be. Okay? And go ahead with what else you had.
I was looking at, I'd be able to, at some point, looking at some point and getting some input, particularly from the public, about access points to the newly dredged creek. We've mentioned that before. So now, there are some points, aren't they? They're
Yes.
kind of informal right now.
Yes. Right now, you could take a kayak and launch it at State Road 44, south side, and the Turnbull Creek, and you can float it all the way down at high tide. There's a spot at low tide where they were unable to go over this gas line that's right in the middle of the way.
Yes,
And they were waiting to find out if that gas line, we'll get that with the staff report too, where that gas line blocked them from finishing that little piece. They were going to wait on that gas line to be removed. And then you can float it all the way down to Mission Road and come out there at KOA camp, KOA campgrounds. Easy in and out, or Sugar Mill campgrounds.
Sure.
Yeah, the furthest one down. And then you can come out and have somebody come get your kayak from the shore if you want, or just they'll bring it up there, or you can float it on back. And then on the other side, there's not much between the Jungle Road and 44, but then now they've opened up the side on the north end of Jungle Road. And so you can come off the side of the road and you can launch there, but right now they're still finishing that section.
So the last 500 feet, I think they have to dredge.
It's more than 500 feet, I think. But we'll get that staff report. And as far as a map, I have the one that I got from the Planning Department. And this one shows the 125.37 acres that we have been able to add to our list. And I'll pass this around to you guys. You can take a look at it. I have 2 copies. But this shows all the purchased sections. And then the stuff that's in red that doesn't have a number on it, these are sections that still need consideration. I'll tell you about the bottom half of it, that it is the bottom half of that map where it meets at Mission Road. Those first 3 properties are the KOA campground people, the Sugar Mill campground people. So none of that's ever going to come over to us. But then there's a large section, that's the Sugar Mill ruins, that's north of that. So if you look at Page Avenue, you'll see where the 5.56 and the 1.48 amount are. Those properties are ours, but then the rest of it doesn't connect. I believe there's a questionable part that we're going to hear about today, and that's further down. It's marked with a gray mark, and that one is the section at Doster Drive. I believe we're going to hear about that today. So that gives you an idea of what's left on the southern half and all the way up to the north half, at least to Pioneer Trail. That's the only piece of the map I have. And those are the pieces that were most important that we've already just purchased that. So anything to the north and then other priorities along the middle. And then in the middle section, Jungle Road to 44, those in red haven't been purchased yet. We have made attempts to talk to them. I believe in the last meeting, we also asked for an appraisal on those properties from the Ellison family, and I haven't heard back about that. I don't know if that's back yet or not, but I'm sure we'll hear about it.
You know, there might be the properties where you could do environmental easements. So, you know, so many yards from the creek.
Possibly further down, yeah. Possibly.
But we think nothing north of 44. Or-
Maybe.
Yeah.
I know that the
First
Ellisons
priority
want
would be to have it, you know, part of the whole block.
exactly. And that would make that little section between Jungle Road and 44 totally connected. Does that help it?
Yes.
Yes, thank you.
Are we still negotiating or talking about this piece here on the other side of those houses on Temple,
None of the houses on Temple.
across the other side of the water?
That's part of of Linda,
Yes.
Linda Ellison's land. That's the one we asked them to do an appraisal on because she's wanting to sell to us.
Okay, good.
But
Yeah.
again, we have to wait, we haven't gotten the appraisal back.
Okay, I was just curious if that was.
Yeah, that's hers. She has the entire section. Her brother has that piece that's marked B4CA.
Yes.
That piece that's her brother's parcel. That's where the school is,
Yeah.
the daycare center. And then the other parcels are individually owned. Does that make it clearer to where we have it? Do you need to see it again?
Yes.
Okay, cool. So on our agenda, I jumped ahead to 5A. So we already talked about what Vice Chair Weston had mentioned in his letter. So we planned on doing that. And then any other new item discussion, I turn it over to staff for your staff report for the property on.
I've only marginally been introduced to this myself, so this is something that Ron has been working on. But they've identified 2.75 acres at Doster Drive and Corbin Park Road. The property owner is looking to sell that and requested $150,000 for the 2.75 acres. Had two appraisals done. One came out at $149,000. The other came out at $120,000, and the average of the two appraisals is $134,500. And this value is slightly below the $150,000 purchase price. And
Any recommendations from the board?
staff, being Ron, is recommending approval on this.
So if we approve it, then it goes to commission.
That's correct.
Any discussion from the board on that parcel? Are you familiar with the parcel that they're talking about?
On Doster Road?
Yeah,
Yes,
you saw it on this
I
map.
did.
It's a tiny little piece. It's a tiny little piece down in this area. And it's that little sliver that's marked
Oh,
in,
Which one is it?
it's this little
right.
that one
sliver.
right there?
Yeah, it's right next to the creek.
It's right
Oh,
next to the
okay,
creek.
yeah.
It's this little sliver right here. I believe it's all wetlands back there anyway. I don't believe there's an access road that goes down there onto Doster Drive, so it doesn't have road access.
Yeah, I think the description was about 60% of it is wetlands.
Yeah, the whole thing.
How many acres is it?
2.75,
2.7.
more or less.
Now, a typical acre in Corbin Park is going for, this isn't a full acre. That's behind us that's listed at 140,000. And, it was listed at 90,000, and it's only 70 feet by 60 feet, so it's not a full acre. I'm just impressed it goes for that much, but I think 120 would be fairly reasonable. It'll connect the little piece there on the creek. How valuable it would be, I'm not sure. There's no road access to it, but, it still would be part of the access. So should we get a motion on that parcel moving forward for the commission to consider purchase?
Yes.
Yes, what?
Yes, we should move to have
the commission look at purchasing or take the, or was it the estimate or the?
Try and negotiate it at the lowest bid price?
Yes, yes, exactly. Negotiated at the lowest bid price.
And a second?
I'll second that.
Would you call the roll, please, Ms. Evans?
Member Ingalls?
Yes.
Member Robish?
Yes.
Member Werner?
Yes.
Chair Athern?
Yes.
Just for clarity, was that a motion to approve, to negotiate at the lowest bid price?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, thanks.
So that will go now before the commission for them to make the decision to move forward with the purchase price of that negotiated 120,000 and change, whatever it was.
Okay.
Okay, now let's move to the staff report we have in front of us. That is the dredging of the north parcel of State Road 44, north of Jungle Road. This is from Jungle Road all the way up mostly to the multi-trails. We got David here. David Ray is with the city to present to us that section that's being dredged now.
Well, good afternoon. Thanks for having me here today. So far on the north side, they have cleared roughly 1,900 cubic yards as of last week. They've taken 1,900 cubic yards of sediment out. They have about 500 feet left to finish, and then they still have to, they're going to go back and do the first 100 foot. They'll clean that out again. Once they're done with that, they do have a lot of vegetation that they've cut that's just sitting on the banks right now, and they're going to clean all that up. Their goal is to be out of there by the end of the month, so by the first part of July, they should be gone and moved on to their next project.
Nice.
So this yellow piece that we have on our map,
All that has been dredged.
that's already been dredged.
Yes,
And then the blue part is the part they haven't gotten to yet.
correct. Yeah, they're there this week and next week.
Cool, because I did ride by and I saw they still have all that cut brush off to the
Yeah.
side. And then they'll bring what they'll do is they bring the flat carrier,
Yep.
the barge boat down, and they load it all on, and then I guess they bring it back there where their staging area is on Jungle Road.
Yes.
And then they load it right onto the truck and off it goes.
Yep.
And then can you let them know, was there anything found in historical value on any of the dirt they brought up?
There has been nothing to date. Nothing to date.
Till we do the piece on the other side of Mission Road. That's so funny. Okay, so that's quite a bit of dirt. If you want to see it, David, you can get in touch with David, and he can take you up there. The pile of dirt, I have a picture of it. I'm going to add it to my final when this is all done, so that we have a final presentation of the total project from beginning to end, and how much dirt and how much supply came out of there. Mention too that what's going to happen with all that dirt.
Sure. So right now we're working with trying to get approval through DEP and through FEMA. What we want to do is repurpose that and use that for our sandbag facilities during storm preparedness. We can bring that over to the sport complex, and all the residents can use that. I mean, it's really good material that we can use, so we don't want it to go to waste.
Was any of that clay?
There was a little bit of clay, but the vast majority is very sandy.
Sandy and some shell, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was amazing, and it's a very big pile of dirt. But I also encourage you to please go to Jungle Road and take a look up that creek. The widening is amazing.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I didn't recognize what 15 feet really looked like, and it is enormous.
Yeah.
It looked like it did when I was a kid riding through there on horseback. So
That's great.
I'm very excited. Once that piece is done, you can see what the run would look like from Jungle Road all the way up to where you can connect onto the trails. And it'll be just a full run. And then from there north, there's no dredging going on north of that trail section.
Correct.
So if you go on that trail, you can go to the edge. Isn't that where that overpass walkway dock thingy is?
The observation?
Yes.
Yes, right there.
Okay, so then you can look through there and you can see down the river. Pretty good distance.
Yep.
There's not really much I don't think they'll pull out of there. I think it's pretty deep.
Yeah.
And there are snakes. I did see snakes. Lots of snakes. I mean, lots of snakes. Great, thank you, David.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Thanks.
This project's been incredible, and you've done a great job with this, too. Thank you. As far as other new business, the resolution that the city put in for us has said that we can still pursue more of our duties with the city by expanding our abilities to look for grants, to try and find partnerships, to maybe protect the creek a little bit better. And one of those things that we had mentioned last time was talking about this enhancement of the openings and this aquatic openings. I'm going to hound it again because as I gave this to Ron Niebert to pursue, we had until I believe it was June. Let me check to make sure the dates are there. I believe we had until June, and I provided him with the application, and he agreed he would apply for that. Do we know if he has applied for any possible grant for this?
I don't have any information on that, I'm sorry.
Okay, great. So I'd like to see if we could maybe pursue this. This was something we as a group said this needed to be looked into to find out if we could qualify to get this aquatic opening done at Jungle Road to help with the flow at Jungle Road because it is narrow. So if you need a copy of this, I can provide you with one.
Okay.
Or you can get it from Ron because I know I gave him the entire pamphlet with the application in it. So that was one. And the other item I wanted to bring up is the ECHO grants. So the ECHO grants are also available for us to partner with. The ECHO grant was where the passive park can go in. That's what they do. And so we simply needed to make application for them for us to do something with the parts that have been cleared already. And that's the section in between Michigan Road and State Road 44. Also, they were more interested in connecting back to the dredging map on North Jungle, turning this into the passive park area because it ties in with what they've already done on the multi-use park.
Yep.
So do we need to make a motion to request the city to apply for the ECHO grant and move forward with working with them to put in a passive park in the section between Jungle Road?
Yeah, I'll make a motion to have the city negotiate or talk with them about doing a park in that section between the trail and Jungle Road.
I second the motion.
Can you call the roll again for us, please, Ms. Evans?
Member Werner,
Yes.
Member Robich,
Yes.
Member Ingalls,
Yes.
Chair Autherton.
Yes. Do you need this application pamphlet from them, or do you have one already?
I'll take a copy of that.
Okay. One way or another, we're gonna get this thing turned into a passive park, I hope. I'd like to be able to really make this work.
And that's those woods there are beautiful. It's a really nice section.
It'd be perfect, and it
Yeah.
ties in with them. They got 100 million that they're gonna be spending. We have to start applying for these, or we're never gonna get the money.
And it's my understanding that when we do make it into a park, then and it's a lot easier to get rid of the invasive species when you have it deemed as a park. Because you're only allowed to have natural and indigenous plants and animals living in that area.
Mhm.
So we can remove invasive species.
And the eco grant helps do that
Yes,
too. I mean,
yes.
they make the headway.
That's a
And then that also opens again the question about USDA. We had spoken about that the last time for us to move forward with applying with USDA for the removal of the invasive species. And that was for the Jungle Road, for the State Road 44 South section to Mission Road, because that is packed with growth. And as you saw from my last presentation about the fire hazard in that area, I've done tours with every one of the commissioners. Everybody's been on the walk, and they've seen what kind of fire hazard we're looking at here. while we were gone on vacation. House caught fire in my neighborhood, 2 doors down. I got nervous because nothing's been done to try and work with this. So I would think we need a motion for moving forward with USDA's application on that as well.
Tell me again what the application is.
To
what the
remove
motion
the
would be?
invasive species with USDA.
Yeah, I would make a motion to move forward with working with USDA to remove any exotic species on there.
I second the motion.
Ms. Evans, would you please call the roll again?
Of course. Member Robish?
Yes.
Member Werner?
Yes.
Member Ingalls?
Yes.
Chair Awthorn?
Yes. So we'll put you some more homework. USDA.gov has there's an application for removal of the invasive species. I'm also going to give you a phone number for Brian Zielinski, who is in charge of those grants or those project things, and he can tell you exactly what else you'll need for applying for that. And we also have his information too with the city who's using them for the grant that we just finished clearing out the creek on. And that is Brian Zielinski. Search. And I'll try to spell his name. Zelinsky. He's with USDA Natural Resources. His phone number is 321-408-1652. And he will give you all the information you need about where to go and how to apply for those invasive species removals. I know I gave you a bunch of homework, but we didn't have to give you all this homework. We gave it to you because there's nobody else helping us. Okay, so the other item I had in that I wanted to talk to you about, we discussed the cleanup of the creek and what's going on with all of the properties that we've purchased, and now we need to kind of reorganize ourselves to what we're going to do next. With this much of the creek being cleaned out, moving forward and trying to protect ourselves here is something of state interest. The state forestry department is interested in helping us to clear some of the underbrush out of these areas because it is a very big fire hazard. One of the people that went with us on the Turnbull Creek stomp, the swamp stomp, was with the Department of Forestry, and he is currently now with the Farmington Ranch Project. And they want to be good neighbors, and they want to try and help us with getting that fire hazard down. And that would be talking with Robbie Lee, that he has connections with U.S. Forestry Department. Did you, Scott, did you also have?
I do know people. I was a wildland firefighter and worked with U.S. Fish and Wildlife, so I don't know how many of those people are still there, but yes, and that was something I wanted to work on. I have not because I've been dealing with the bridge stuff, but I'm definitely open to calling people I know with different departments, and I still have contacts with them. And one of my thoughts with that too, and it's kind of a workaround, is if we can get them involved in any of like these areas, they're going to need to cut fire line,
Right.
which will then give us a semi-prepared trails through there that we could come back and finish, as a dual purpose for them cutting fire line.
So what we really kind of need to do for the city in this is to report to the city, these are the source people that we can recommend for the city to talk to, because as a board, we can't send anybody out there, but we can take them on tours, we can show them the parcels, and then we can take that information, bundle it together, and give a presentation to the city about the fire hazards in these sections. Because there may not be any homes really in the northern section except by the Jungle Road side, But there are in the Corbin Park side, the south section, and that's a lot of acres. That's, by the map, almost 15 acres. So is it possible I could task you with that?
Yeah.
So that next meeting you could bring us some information about that? And then I would think if we could put together a presentation for the city to show them these are the people to contact, here's what we know about the fire hazard and what can be done about it, and encompass what we've learned from the Farmington folks, and maybe kind of put together a program that we can present to the city for it to start moving forward, because as it's going to take more time, you know, getting through the wet season now, and we get back into the summer when it's dry again in March and April, that may be a great time for it to kind of hit. Because we're going to be behind the curveball with rainy season and hurricane coming up. But still a good possibility. What are your thoughts with that?
That sounds like a great idea, yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. If I can
Yeah,
get
I
them,
like that.
I assume I'll get that map, and then I can work with that map on, and I'll try to get some state and state fire crew and
What map do you need?
map of the owned parcels now,
I'll give you this one.
and
I have 3 copies of it. Yeah, I got 3 copies of it. Here, take this one.
is that something you can email me digitally so I can see it better? Or the city?
You know what? Can I get you to send this one out? Again, this one's one I got from, you can keep that one. That one I got from Planning Department.
Well, no, I mean, I can figure it if it's a digital version. Okay.
Yeah, if you put the streets on it, it's easier to identify everything there. Much easier to identify it all.
Okay.
But yes, that would help you.
Sure. That way, yeah, and I'll start reaching out to people I know.
Cool. All right, I had one of these maps with me that had notes on the back of it. Yeah, there it is, good, okay. So on, Florida Forestry Services, there's usually no cost. It's a cost share program that they offer to help maintain it. That was one of the grants that I had found out about. They also spot treat the Brazilian pepper as well. So they're a good source for us to get in touch with. So I'll task that for you.
Okay, yep.
And then finally on our list is talking about our meeting dates. This, apparently we're going to get to meet, I think it's, can you correct me if I'm wrong, is it twice a month? No, sorry, not twice a month. It's once every 2 months.
Every 2 months.
Okay.
3 months, it's every quarter, correct?
The next one will be in September.
Yeah, that's getting us pretty late. Because I'd like to see if we can get together sooner so that we can put together a presentation about this fire risk, fire hazard stuff, get some kind of information about the Ellison Acres parcels, if the appraisals have been done for those. That's the section between State Road 44 and Jungle. And I think you can look back on last month's notes and you'll see it, where we recommended those 2 parcels for purchase.
I did just find out about another parcel that's getting ready to go for sale. It's on the offshoot off Turnbull Creek Road. It's 3 acres. It is got 400 foot of waterfront. He's asking a little over 400 for it. I don't know what it'll appraise at. I don't know that it'll go that high with appraisal, but.
And that's on the north section?
That is on the north section, between Dillon Circle and Turnbull Creek.
But it meets up to the Turnbull Creek.
It's on the creek, 400 foot of waterfront.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah, it's a cool parcel.
What's the zoning on it right now?
There's a manufactured home on it.
So it's probably a state. It could be a state. Which brings up, could we possibly get some updated maps to everybody on the board so that we can make a better recommendation for priority purchases? We had big maps that were given to us when we started this, and I mean big maps, these. And it breaks down everything that we need. It's got the zoning for each of these parcels. It shows in red the purchases that the city has made. In green, it shows the parcels that are not purchased. All the streets are on it. It shows all the sections. Everything we need is in this packet for making a better decision to the city.
Okay, so I assume we made those maps, so we should just be able to update them.
That would be terrific.
Yeah, okay. What's the title of the map called?
It says target parcels near Turnbull Creek North section, southern section, parcels near Turnbull Creek North section. This one was the zoning one. It has the zoning listings on it. This one doesn't have. Yes, it does. This one's the southern section, again showing parcels near the creek, highlighted in red, and parcels that are owned by county are also marked in green /. Yeah, this is the perfect stuff.
Okay.
And then we'll need this for our next meeting so that we can make before the next meeting, actually. Do we get to send out stuff?
We can send it out to you all.
That would be terrific, so that we have a follow-up from this meeting of these maps, so that when we meet again, we already have time to look over these things, and we can come back in and discuss more efficiently what we recommend to the city for future purchases.
Okay.
We can come up with a priority list better that way, don't you agree?
Absolutely.
Yes.
Do you agree? Okay, so I'm sorry to give you so much homework.
Oh, it's okay. I'm gonna give it to Ron.
I'm gonna give it to Ron.
I'm just kidding. A lot of the mapping stuff is in my department, so I'll just work with the GIS guy and tell him what you're looking for, and
That would be awesome.
we should be able to
What's
crank
the
that
date
out
on
pretty
that
quick.
map that you created?
The date on this one was created, 2019, March 14th, 2019.
Yeah.
That's when this whole thing got started. Yeah, March 14th. All of them are the same. March 28th of 19. This was the parcels from, parcels by year. Phase 1, Phase 2, and Phase 3. 2019 was in yellow, 2020 was in green, and 2021 was in red. That's how we went through the maps, and then we highlighted the parcels that we felt needed to be attention getters in the beginning. So if you need to look through this, you can.
It would probably be easier for me to just hand all this to our GIS manager
Okay,
and say we need to just update all these maps instead of me trying to
that would be great.
explain it to
It's
him.
just the four, it's just those four. So that we
Okay.
get a better picture before we come in next month of where we kind of need to go. You've got homework, Scott, you're gonna look at, Bob, you're gonna look at, I know, wait a minute, which direction? You're gonna look at the fire hazard stuff next. And report back with the fire hazard stuff and phone numbers and
Bridge
addresses.
stuff's pretty much rolling at this point, so.
Yeah, that's, the creek cleanup's gonna be taken care of good. Okay, did anyone else have other information you wanted to share with the board, or?
Excuse me, Chair.
Yes, ma'am.
I did, after review, it looks like you have met every month, every 2 months, and sometimes every 3 months. So I guess it's just at your pleasure.
Okay, I'm gonna suggest every other month. Does that sound okay to you guys?
Oh, yes.
Yes.
So every other month be all right? So right now we're in June, so August. We'll meet again August. Do you have a date you can pencil us in on yet for August? Yeah. I'm wide open in August, so you can pick whichever date. The 11th looks great to me.
Yep, the 11th should be fine.
The 11th look good for everybody? If it's not, when you get home and you look at your calendars and you go, nope, we can't do the 11th, would you please email in to the city, to our city clerk to let them know?
That's fine for me.
Okay, so I'm gonna pencil in 3 o'clock for the 11th. And then we'll have our follow-ups from the maps ahead of time. You'll have your follow-ups for that. We'll follow up with the purchase appraisals on the Ellison property. And to follow up with USDA and the aquatics openings for Jungle Road, the application process for that. Boy, I gave you a lot. I can't remember it all. And there was one other thing on the list. There was 5 things. There was 5 things.
Aquatic opening, USDA government application, Brian Zelinski, property on State Road 44 in Jungle recommended for purchase, and then the updated maps. That's what I've got in my notes.
That's 4. And the updated maps. And then I'll give you guys the update on the finishing of the creek, because it'll be done by then. So I'll have a presentation available for that. That'll be the 5th thing. So one of them's on me. You only have 4.
Okay.
Sound good to everybody?
Sounds good. I'm putting in my day off.
Awesome. And you bring me flour.
I will.
Okay, is that conclude pretty much everybody's notes? Anything else you want to discuss? Now's our moment. What do you think of the progress?
The dredging looks great.
Yes, I love it.
It does.
It really increases the visibility of this project. You know,
I think the final thing I can say in this is, and it was mentioned by Chip, that, some publicity about this wouldn't hurt. I think that's the 5th thing, is getting some sort of a write-up, publicity about what's been done in this last year in cleaning up that Turnbull Creek, and how much debris actually has come out of this thing. I think we need to update the public. And that's Phil, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, as we come into hurricane season, it'd be a good
I
time for
think
people
it's
to
a good thing.
realize that they are cleaning everything up, and it will be better for flooding in hurricane season, we hope.
Yeah, I think we need to get some publicity out to let people know. So that would be the 5th thing, is let's get Phil to get with the press. And I have a guy who's interested in actually doing a story about how the creek has gotten cleaned out, how much has been done, how much dirt's come out of it. He's done stories for me about the dredging and the cleanup we've had to do in our yard and the flooding. Let me see if I have his number, and I'll even give it to you as well. He's with the News Journal. His name is Bruno Carello, Carello, 407-353-9151. But he would love to have a story to put in the paper about how much work has been done, behind the scenes, getting the Turnbull Creek cleaned out, and how much actual volume we've been able to increase in the flow there when this is all done and over with. Is that good? Any other business? Okay. It is 4, according to my phone, 3:53, and I call the meeting adjourned. Oh, I'm sorry. Okay.